Everybody loves smoked cheese. We eat it as a snack, as a light meal, and we even give it to our friends and family as a gift. But a lot of people don't realize just how versatile it really is. How about taking that cheeseburger to the next level? Or add a little bit of smoky goodness to your grilled cheese sandwich? Or add a little something to that same old macaroni and cheese? And how about a little smoked Parmesan on top of your favorite spaghetti recipe? As you can see, the possibilities are almost endless. So stick around and I'll show you how you can make some delicious smoked cheese right at home.
Welcome to Smokin' Ass Barbecue.
All right, welcome back, everybody. As most of you know, I love to barbecue year-round, and I do barbecue year-round. I'm fortunate to live in an area where I can do that pretty comfortably year-round. But when we do have the cool days through the winter and so forth, there are certain things that you need to take advantage of. And one of those is coal smoking, which is something that's hard to do here during the summer, during most of the year, as a matter of fact. But coal smoking is kind of a cool weather thing because you have to keep your temperatures down. You generally say around 65 to 85 inside your unit. So you need a fairly cool air temperature outside to maintain a cool temperature inside. So what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to be using the Masterbuilt Electric, but I'm not going to be running any heat in it. I'm only going to be using it as a container, as a vessel. Just put my food in and to use the smoke tube in, which I'll get to in just a minute. Okay, I'd like for you to see how I've got things set up here to do our smoking. What I've done is placed a thermometer probe up on the top rack up here so I can monitor the internal temperature of our unit so we don't get too high. With the cheese, we absolutely do not want to go over 90 degrees. That is where our milk fat starts to melt. Our cheese starts to melt. So we're going to have a target temperature of a maximum of 85. If we get up to that point, then I'll start taking steps to cool things off a bit. So in the bottom, I've placed a little rack here. And this is where we're going to put our smoker tube. We're just going to lay it right in there. The rack will help keep it up off the bottom so it can get a little air circulation and hopefully burn a little bit better. And that's just about all we're going to do in here. We're going to get this tube packed up and fired up and get things underway. We are going to get our cheese ready. We actually have 6 different ones. We've got some mozzarella, and we've got some pepper jack, which I love, and some Swiss, and a little block of cheddar, a sharp cheddar we're going to be using, and some Gouda, which is great smoke. And finally, we have some provolone. We could put these in just like they are, but as you can see, this is a pretty good chunk of cheese. So what I prefer to do is take these blocks and I'm just going to split it right down the middle. And what this will do is open it up so we can get smoke around more of the surface area of the cheese. And also it'll leave our cheese pieces just the perfect size to slice off to go on a cracker later on. Generally, I like to mark these so they don't get all mixed up during the smoking process. And I usually try to use some toothpicks or something, but the other day when I was at the store, I ran across these food safe markers that they use to decorate cookies and cakes and so forth with. So I thought, well, we'll just give those a try. And I actually tried one out the other day on a slice of American cheese. Seemed to work real well. So we're going to give these a shot and see how they do. It doesn't have to be great or anything, just enough of a mark uh, till we can get them sealed up in the packages, because the packages will all be dated and marked as to what kind of cheese it is. So we don't have to make them pretty. We just want to be able to identify them. Alrighty, I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of these marked and sliced in half, and we'll be back in just a bit. There we go. Done and done. Okay, I'm going to get all of these switched over to some little wire racks so they'll be easier to handle, and I'll meet you outside of the smoker. Okay, for our smoke source, like I said, we're not going to be running the smoker itself. We're going to use a tube. These are commonly called pellet tubes or smoker tubes. They generally advertise them to use wood pellets in, just like you use in your pellet grill. If you have one of those, or if you're familiar with those type of pellets, you can use those, or you can use regular wood chips. And I kind of prefer the wood chips. The wood chips put off quite a bit more smoke. They do burn up a little bit faster, but we're not looking for a super long smoke on the cheese today. The pellets burn longer, but they put out a little less smoke. So in order to get my cheese smoked and done and help prevent any drying out over a long period of time, we're going to go with the wood chips. So I'm going to use apple. You can use any kind of wood you want. I recommend that you use a mild wood, like a fruit wood or an alder, something like that. If you like a heavier smoke, go ahead with oak or pecan, maybe even hickory if you'd like. We've got our tube filled up. And these are fairly simple to light. We just want to put our torch here on the end of it. Hopefully you can see that. We're going to let this burn for about 30 seconds or so. 30, 45 seconds. We just want to get everything inside there. Just the first top layer there lit really good. And make sure it's going. And you'll start to see this where we have a flame coming off of it. That's what we want. We're going to get that flame. And then we're going to let this just smolder and flame for a few minutes just to make sure everything's going good and get the wood good start. So I'm just going to set it right there and let it burn for a couple minutes. And then we'll put it inside our smoker. Okay, we're going to get our smoker tube down here and close the door up so our flames will go out. And we'll go inside and get our cheese and get it ready to go in. Also, if you'll notice, I have another little probe hanging here on the post. This will monitor our ambient temperature outside so we can keep a close comparison to what's going on inside and outside. So we'll be back in just a minute with our cheese and get it going. And we will close it up now. Come back probably, I don't know, a half hour, 45 minutes and flip all the cheese over. So, and see how it's doing. So we'll close it up and we'll see you back in a little bit. All righty, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes or so. As you can see, our tube is still smoking well. And I'm going to flip our cheese now. Make sure we get a even smoke all over. As you can see, maybe you can see, there's some slight coloration starting to happen on the edges of some of the lighter cheese, which is a good thing. That's exactly what we want to see right now. So I'm just going to flip everything over. Get away, fly. We'll get that one back. I don't know why I have a pot holder. Nothing in here is hot. Just habit. Old habits are hard to break. Okay, I'm going to get all this flipped over. There we go. Okay. There. Now, we'll get it closed back up and let it smoke a little while longer. Thinking probably another, I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know. We'll go by the color and see how things are going. Our cheese has been in for 2 hours. Let's see how things are coming. Oh, beautiful. Hopefully you can see on these lighter cheeses the change in color, especially around the edges and so forth. If you can see that color difference, that's what we want, is just a very nice, complete, even smoke on all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and get this out. I'm going to take it inside and I'm just going to set it out on the table, and I'm going to let it air for a little bit and just kind of chill out and mellow out a little bit, and then we'll take our next step. So I'll get this inside and we'll be back in a little bit. We've got our cheese inside now, and I'm just going to let it kind of sit out on the counter for a little bit and cool off some, firm back up a little bit. Then I'm going to put all of it in Ziploc bags and just stick it in the refrigerator overnight so it can get a good chill on it before we do the final sealing tomorrow. So I will see y'all in the morning. It is the next morning, and our cheese has been resting in the refrigerator overnight. So it should be good and firm and good and cold. So it's time to do the final sealing on it so we can get it stored away. As you can see, I put all the cheese, separated them into little bags, separate individual bags, and then put them all in one big bag just to kind of make it easier so they don't get mixed up and messed up and all that good stuff. Our little marks that we made with our marker pen seem to have held up fine through all the smoking and cooling off. So, all right, we're going to get the vacuum sealer. If you don't have a vacuum sealer, you can wrap these really tight with saran wrap and then put them in a Ziploc bag and get all the air you possibly can out of the Ziploc bag and store them away like that. The vacuum sealer is definitely the best way to do it if you have one. And there we have our first one done. And as you can see our little mark right through the sealer bag. So all of these I'll be putting the type of cheese and the date on the bag. So let me get the rest of these done up and we'll be right back. And there we go. I've got it all bagged up and sealed and ready to give away as gifts or put in the freezer for later use, whatever we decide to do with them. I've already started putting the names on the bags, and I'll put the dates on there also. Now comes the hardest part about this process. We've got to let this cheese age for a little bit. I do mine for 2 weeks. I've tried it different ways, and I found that seems to work the best for me. I don't see much difference after 2 weeks, but it definitely helps to let it age for a while. So don't eat it now. Let it age and finish out the process. And just like that, with the magic of video, it has been 2 very long weeks, and I am anxious to try this cheese and see how it turned out. So I'm going to get one opened up here and try a couple slices. Also, if you'll notice, as I mentioned earlier when I was getting the cheese ready, notice the size of these slices now. By cutting those chunks right down the middle in half, you can see it ends up the perfect size slice to go on a cracker. Really good. Really good. The smoke is definitely there, but the cheese comes through first forward. The smoke is just kind of like a little light seasoning in the back. Just perfect. Absolutely perfect. If all of it turned out this good, I'll be a happy camper, I can tell you. So that's it for our cheese tasting. And there you have it. A simple and easy way you could make your own smoked cheese right at home. So y'all give this a try. I guarantee you'll like it.
Thanks for stopping by. See y'all soon.